Aja, Emilio, Usman, Gabriela, and myself will be presenting the rebranding of Malaysia Airlines. So to start off, we'll be starting off with a company profile of the current Malaysia Airlines as we know it, and moving on to rebranding and the new brand that we want to put in place, which is Aman Airways. Then our value proposition and the elements that compose the Malay culture and how these can be applied to Aman Airways. So, furthermore, we'll be going on to customer interaction points and industry improvements, mix and match, Aman Airways cultural innovation, and finally a conclusion.
Okay, I'm going to give a brief overview of Malaysian Airlines. It was founded on October 12, 1937. The chief executive officer is Christopher R. Muller. And on the 2nd of April 1947, it took its first commercial flight as the national airline of Malaysia. Driven by a young and dynamic team of visionaries, the domestic carrier turned into an international airline in less than a decade. It is also part of the Malaysian Aviation Group, and the headquarters is located at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport. It goes to countries in Asia, Europe, and the Middle East, and the board of directors consists of 13 members. Over the years, Malaysian Airlines has enjoyed some success. It cemented its position as one of the leading airlines in the world because of its scheduled services between Kuala Lumpur International Airport and Heathrow. And on the 1st of February 2013, it became a full member of One World Alliance and is connected to 850 destinations in 150 countries across the One World Alliance network. And also, it has received more than 100 awards in the last decade, like the World's Best Cabin Crew, Best Economy Class, World Leading Airline to Asia, Staff Service Excellence for Asia Award, and Best Airline Signature Dish. But over the years, it's also encountered some problems. In 2014, it technically went bankrupt because of the crash that occurred. One plane got lost with 239 passengers, and the other plane was shot by Russian separatists, and all the members on board died. Also, they're overstaffed and inefficient, and as a result of the events that occurred in the previous year, the airline's image was tarnished, and they tried to become a low-cost airline, which didn't work out for them, resulting in jobs being shut down, as a result leading to bad customer service.
Rebranding occurs when a business or organization decides to change a significant element of the brand. It can be the brand name, logo, slogan, or all three of them. Rebranding can ensure that negative association with the brands are dispelled. It is important here that not only the exterior changes, but the change is also implemented in all other aspects of the organization. When changing the name, we wanted something that had to do with Malaysia, so our customers have a complete Malaysian experience. So what better way than having a Malay word to do this? We started searching for words associated with airplanes, air traveling, and we came across the word Aman, which means peaceful, calm, safe, and secure. We thought that this was a good fit because it is what we as an airline want to provide to our customers: security, safety, and calmness when choosing us for their journey. So that is where the name Aman Airways comes from. The slogan is Proudly Fly Malay. This slogan emphasizes the Malaysian identity that we are trying to give to the people. An example of rebranding can be New York. In the 1970s, the crime rate was growing, so many businesses were leaving New York to find safer places. This atmosphere was affecting New York's image, and as a consequence of this, tourism was very low. Because of this, in 1977, they started a marketing campaign to change the view of people on it. And rather than seeing New York for their crimes, they saw it as a place to go and enjoy with the help of the slogan, I love New York. That is why we decided to rebrand the company, because we want to change the negative vision that the people have towards our brand and make it better.
For the value proposition, we decided to completely change it. Aman Airways' value proposition aims to give consumers more for what they pay. The approach that we have decided to choose is built around the consumer. This is because we live in an era where consumers want to feel identified and also show their identity. Aman Airways doesn't have as objective to follow the industry standards with constant add-on costs and terrible services. In order to be able to have this approach, there will be a new customizable ticket where consumers will be able to design their trip with freedom of choice. Now, for our marketing part, in order to interact with customers at all time, Aman Airways must use the 3 interaction points approach. In advertising, the aim is to motivate people to seek adventure by traveling to unknown places. While flying passengers must feel a difference from the point they check in until the end of the journey, and this is the purchase interaction point. Finally, to solve the biggest weakness, which Usman previously mentioned, the lack of care for consumers, a customer service team will try to get as much feedback on improving experience. Aman Airways will try to make it up in case we fail to provide a great service.
According to Halt and Cameron's cultural innovation theory, conventional marketing creates a red ocean. Marketers only focus on marketing the elements of fast culture, such as the new features and new innovative technologies of their products and companies. However, this will only allow for a company to be successful in the short term, since trends are constantly changing. The only aspects of the culture which are less likely to change are the elements that are deeply rooted within the culture. This is the reason why Halt and Cameron say that in order for a company to be successful in the long run, it needs, yes, to market its new technologies and new trends, but it also needs to incorporate some elements that are deeply rooted within the culture. This is exactly what we try to do with Aman Airways. We try to improve the problems faced by the airline industry using new technologies while incorporating elements that are deeply rooted in the Malay culture. My colleague Gabriela will now present the ways we try to improve the problems faced by the airline industry.
In order to make the customer experience more satisfactory, we should improve online check-in service in order to be able to simplify drop-off luggage, to make it easier and faster for their customers. Before the flight, we should assign tickets with a letter. When boarding, call the people by the letter on their tickets, making it a more organized boarding process and less time-consuming. We should also allow passengers to have a cabin suitcase and a carry-on, like old times, instead of only one cabin suitcase. We should make sure that there is a good food safety management and that chefs should have a certain amount of experience. Passengers should have the choice to pre-order a certain meal. We can also include Malaysian cuisine. We need to be a greener company, which is a current trend that many would appreciate. Aman Airways is an airline for the people, not for corporate. A company that truly provides a flying experience, a company that allows you to chase opportunity.
Gabby explained ways in which we try to solve some of the problems faced by the current airline industry. Now, as I said before, new technological features are not enough to make our company iconic. Our business should craft value innovation using the mix and match strategy. This can be defined as the unexpected mixing and matching of existing features and technologies against different categories, leading to a constellation of benefits for the customers. We need to incorporate elements that are deeply rooted within the Malay culture, such as art, music, cuisine, and clothing within the airline industry. This will allow for the company to differentiate itself from its competitors. It will also allow for the customers to enjoy a Malaysian experience while traveling internationally. Finally, it will create a great marketing strategy for our company because we are only giving a taste of what the Malaysian culture is. We believe that people will be interested by this rich culture and will want to discover it more in depth by traveling to Malaysia. And what else can they use but the #1 airline industry in Malaysia? This will definitely boost our profitability.
As I just mentioned the elements of the Malay culture, I'm going to explain how it can be used by Aman Airways. For the art, the seats can be coated with a specific type of Malaysian pattern to make it beautiful, and the music, when boarding and landing, there can be some Malaysian music playing on board as well as in the airport. And for the cuisine, a proper Malay chef can be in control of the cuisine. And for the clothing, all personnel working on Aman Airways should be dressed in traditional clothing.
Finally, we had to create a new methodology to fit the new look of Malaysia Airways, which is now Aman Airways. So trying a new path. So we had to define cultural codes, myths, ideologies, and benefits. Our cultural codes, as we mentioned previously, our target market is between 21 and 39 years old and young travelers and entrepreneurs. So mixing business and pleasure at the same time on a high quality airline. The myth, proudly flying Malay, which is also our slogan, is creating a sense of unity by giving importance to everyone, so making everyone feel safe and that as if they were involved in the Malay culture. The ideology is to give this company a peaceful, calm, safe, and secure look, so people trust the brand once again and will be willing to actually board on our planes and feel safe. And finally, the benefit halo effect, which combines both functional benefits and emotional benefits. So our company needs to be reliable and bring a high quality service to our customers, as well as emotionally be youthful to match our target market's expectations.
I want you to look at the cultural approach that this image has. It is a blue mosque, which is located in Malaysia. The ad connects with people's identity by taking the current context into consideration, Ramadan season in this case. It also continues to motivate people to adventure and use Aman Airways. To conclude, the rebranding process followed closely the analysis done by McCracken, Holt, and Cameron. Aman Airways adds value to its own name by having a cultural approach to differentiate from other airlines in the industry. The suggested rebranding strategy will allow Malaysia Airlines to move away from its recent disastrous events, but still continue to be close to its roots. In addition, it will allow the airline to use a current contemporary context on its favor to have a new beginning. This is just the beginning of Malaysia aiming for the sky. Do not forget, venture your way.